Okay. Can I ask you all to sum up in response to that? So that there's really there's two main parts. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't go cap in hand to the United States without expecting the United States to look after its own interests first and foremost. And beyond that, how do you really address these grievances at a deeper level beyond the question of governance? And we'll start at the end, and I can ask you all to be brief, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. I think, I hope we don't come out from this session with incorrect generalization. To say that aid is not effective or useful, I think this is a bit to the extreme. I'm sure that aid from the entire world, not only from the United States, the World Bank, United Nations, has contributed significantly to stability in the world. And I take India. India in the 50s and 60s was the most needy country in the world. And it received tremendous aid. Where is India today? So to say that international cooperation in the field of development is not productive, I think it is productive, but there has been misuse of that kind of cooperation. This is my really comment, because I have to be brief.
Okay, next, Sabri.
I would like to advocate a different school of thought. Let's have the cake and let's eat the cake. Do you agree? Well, we collectively pay for the cake. No, you don't have to pay for the cake. It's not the question of America. It's not that because we're sitting in New York that we hold the American administration responsible. We say collectively at the UN, whoever has taken up the responsibility takes up also the responsibility of cleaning up the mess. And when you talk about the war, the first Gulf War, and when you talk about the war in Kosovo, why do you choose to forget the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan? Have they been successful? Have they been successful? That's a big question.
Okay. Next, Dr. Rotberg.
The most important thing that can be done by all of us is governments throughout the world is to, and particularly the U.S. And its allies, is to strengthen leadership throughout the world. Leadership creates better governance. The critique that was issued of how the money is spent and so on, and leads the better led countries in the world, and we can name a dozen or so, are those which have improving results for their people. Done homegrown, done sometimes with outside funding as well. But when leadership is strengthened, then we can bring about better governance, we can bring about the results we want, and we can reduce the spread of terror.
Mr. Jalali, last word with you.
Well, the key is the aid effectiveness, actually. The aid could, yes, as you said, can be wasted by corruption and other things, but at the same time, aid can develop countries. If you look at Afghanistan, the aid that was given to Afghanistan from different countries between 1950s and 70s made a major difference. Today in Afghanistan, you go, all the major projects there are from that time. But today it's different. 40 countries come from different levels of commitment and different procedures. Now, instead of, in some cases, rich are not sending, rich of these countries do not send money to the rich of those poor countries. The rich of those countries are sending money to their own rich, because 40% of it does not leave those countries. And the 80% of it goes to contractors and others. And that's the problem that we talk about aid effectiveness. With regard to the bullets cannot, solve problems. I think they are needed in order to create that space, but they cannot be the ultimate solution for problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have cake, but it's not for another hour yet. We have another session first. But I'd like to thank our panelists, and we're going to move on. Yeah, thank you very much.